Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and it's unboxing time. And it's a special unboxing today. This package just came from my buddy MB Wild. He's the person who checked this knife out first, but I've been eagerly awaiting it getting to me. So I have a friend in the knife community. Many of you may know him, Renegade EDC on Instagram. He now also has Renegade Provisions Co. And Chris, behind Renegade EDC, he'll be on the podcast soon. We're working on some collaborative things, which is really cool. But he has designed a knife, and it's gone through prototyping, and that prototype is here. So he's also using Riat, just like I am, through Loved Concepts with my partner Ryan. And but his build is very different from the knife that I'm coming out with. And Chris is a specific type of knife user. He is probably the hardest knife user that I know. The dude is just, we joke with him in a group chat that we're in that he's a cyborg because he works like, I don't know, 26 hours a day, it seems like. And not like light duty stuff. The guy is always working with his hands. He lives like on a farm and works his own land and cultivates bees and makes honey products. He makes leather products. He makes hanks, and he has a day job, and he has a wife and a kid. I don't know how he does it all, but he's really hard on his knives, and he's designed this knife to fit his lifestyle and what he looks for in a knife that can take serious abuse but still be nice and fun and carry well. And so I haven't handled this yet, obviously. This is a prototype and I've just gotten it. But from hearing today, this morning, MB Wild, our mutual friend, who's also been on my podcast, he did a write-up on Instagram, kind of a written review, if you will, of this knife. And it has me incredibly excited to check it out because I often find that my tastes align with MB Wild. And he had nothing but very positive things to say about this knife. The one thing that has me at all concerned is just how big it is. It has an over 4-inch blade. I think it's 4 1/4, and that's big. But Chris likes big knives, and he does a lot of things where a big knife is really handy. So we'll see. I've heard that because it's nice and slim, it should actually carry fairly well. We shall see. All right, so a little note from MB Wild. I'm going to go ahead and not read that on camera because it seems like it's more just for me. But he is awesome. And then in here as well, included one of his hanks, which is super rad of him. So these are made by Renegade EDC. And this is Chris's hank brand. You might have seen already on my channel, I have the like tweed hank, which I love, and I've been carrying a ton lately. And then I also have the Mandalorian hank from Chris, Renegade EDC. He's now doing hanks, I think mostly through his Renegade Provisions Co. label. Same guy. And this is MB Wild's kind of like graphic and his hank. And spoiler alert, there's going to be a Bearded Gear hank coming real soon. I'm waiting for the sample to get here so I can start showing that off. And yeah, that's coming soon. But really cool to have a hank made by my buddy, designed by my other buddy. And yeah, this is absolutely going to get carried and used and loved. All right, let's get to what we're here for. So obviously, there's no official packaging yet or anything. This is just a prototype. Just in a white box at the moment. So, a couple things to note as well about this one. While it was with MB Wild, he put a specific ano and RIT dye job on it. And this has kind of become a signature treatment for him. And I think it looks sweet. I've seen it in videos a bunch of times, the way that he does it. But we call our group chat, if you will, our secret society, we call it the grog. And this is kind of the grog colorway it's become. And so this one has been modified already to be bronze on the titanium. And then he's dyed this micarta, which was already black micarta, but he's dyed it like a true rich, deep black. It looks sweet. So there's going to be 2 versions of this knife available. This one is the one I'll be getting, and it has a wire clip. I love wire pocket clips. The Avant, which is the knife I'm coming out with relatively soon. Hopefully I'll be showing that prototype in just a few weeks. That will have a wire pocket clip. I love wire clips. They're my favorite for actual use, actual carry. They're fantastic. There will be an option from him as well to do one with a titanium, like just milled pocket clip. And that's the other prototype that's going around to some of our other friends. But I specifically really wanted to see the one with the wire clip because that's the one that I want. And luckily Chris made that happen. It's really, really cool of him. So yeah, wire pocket clip, big, big, big knife. This thing is large. And M390 on the blade steel, titanium, bolster lock. This is a prototype, so I believe some of these proportions might be changing slightly. I think the bolster might be getting a little bit bigger and the scale a tiny bit smaller from what I've heard. I think also this fuller, which is designed for middle finger flicking, may become an actual hole all the way through. We'll see. I'll talk to Chris, but this is just the unboxing. So yeah, let's see how it deploys. It is an absolute beast. My goodness. So we've got really kind of a Wharncliffe or sheep's foot type of blade shape here, but there is some belly along the edge, which I really am digging. It's a deep hollow grind, and it's really thin right behind the edge. I imagine this thing is going to slice well, and because the hollow grind comes up pretty high, it's not too steep. Blade stock is, I'd say, a little on the thicker side, but not overly thick. Like, this is probably about the same thickness, just eyeballing it, as like a PM2. Obviously a much, much bigger blade, however. Look at that thing. My goodness. So, it's really slim for how big it is. The thinness is one of the first things that I notice. It just feels like it doesn't feel too huge in my hand, which is crazy because you look at it, I've got a ton of extra handle up here. I can choke up and use that forward choil. The jimping is super far forward, which I love. That's kind of like giant mouse-esque to put the jimping up here. I dig that. I could choke back on this and chop with it if I wanted to. I can literally get like a 4-finger grip back here. But man, this thing is comfortable. The thinness really makes a big difference here. Let's see how it is. I can tell that Riat made this knife. Just the way that it feels. It's an absolute guillotine with that much blade up there. See how it middle finger flicks. Oh, see if I use nail. Oh, I think I need to use the pad of my finger. I'll have to get that down. Yeah, I mean, it works. I think with the hole, or with the fuller becoming a hole, I'll be able to get my nail in there and have an easier time with it. I also need to cut my nails right now. They're like way too long, so maybe that's part of it. But that works for a middle finger flick. Yeah, that is crazy. This thing feels just impressive. It also seems like a knife that if it were scaled down like 30% would still feel like a normal knife, but it somehow doesn't, on first impressions right out of the box, it doesn't feel like way too big for me. We'll see how it carries and how it performs, but man, it just feels kind of excitingly huge. That's what she said. It's a beast. And this grind is so thin. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to be carrying this a ton and using it a lot. Like, I just, for the next like week that I have this in, I'm probably going to slack on some other things that I should be reviewing a decent bit, because I just want to carry this every day, at least for part of the day, and make sure that I'm using it and putting it through its paces and really feeling it out. This is it is serious. What's amazing to me though is it doesn't feel crazy heavy. Maybe it's because of the scale, the scope of it. It just feels fairly light for how big it is. It doesn't feel light compared to actual lightweight knives, but for how massive this thing is, it doesn't feel overly heavy. I imagine it's actually, with the thinness and like the lightness, it's probably going to carry fairly well. Yeah, I'm going to be having fun with this guy. So it's out of the box. That's all we're doing today. I'll be doing a first impressions probably in the next day or two, and then ultimately there will be a full review in about a week. But this is the Renegade EDC Gungnir, and I think I'm pronouncing Gungnir correctly. Gungnir is the name of Odin's spear, which is pretty rad, and yeah, I'm stoked about this. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. I can already tell. The Gungnir is here, my friends, and it is epic in proportions and in build. Definitely feels like a Reat built knife in a very good way, and I'm excited. So I will link down below to Renegade EDC and Renegade Provisions Co. I know right now on his website you can sign up for updates about this knife. I believe as he has some more people sign up for those updates, eventually he's going to convert that and use that list to send out pre-order information to those people who've signed up asking for it. And the pre-order, I imagine, will be fairly soon. I imagine, knowing him and now feeling this knife, that the pre-order is probably going to go fairly well, and these knives are going to be awesome. There's more to come, obviously. I've just unboxed this, but this is sweet. So, again, links will be down below for Renegade EDC and Renegade Provisions Co. Check them out. Check out the site. If you're interested in this, then that'll be where you sign up to get more info. But yeah, thanks for checking it out with me, guys. We'll see you on the next one.